Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Bookmas. In today's video, we're going to be reorganizing my TBR cart. I did this back in fall and I'm going to be doing it every season. I think it's nice to refresh my cart with books that I want to read based on that season. The last time I did this, I arranged all the series that I'm in the middle of on the top shelf of my TBR cart. That way I could see them and I could gravitate towards those. However, I have not been gravitating towards those books. And so what I am going to do is switch up the layout of my TBR cart a little bit. I'm going to have all the books that are on my 5 before the end of 2025. So just all the books I want to read before 2025 ends on the top shelf. That way they're right there for me to pull. And then I'm also going to be putting my winter TBR next to that on the top shelf and on the bottom shelf. And then on the backs of the TBR cart, there's a little bit less space to put books. So I'm just going to be putting the series that I'm in the middle of on the top back side of it. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to add some other books that I kind of might want to get to in the winter time that aren't on my immediate TBR. So we're going to get into reorganizing it. I'm going to see if this works better. I'm also going to start doing monthly TBR videos next year. I think it's going to be really fun. Realistically, I always thought when I was doing TBR videos that I needed to pick 5 or 6 prompts to make it, a longer video. However, 5 or 6 books a month is not realistic for me. So what I'm thinking of doing, and I do have a creative fun way that I'm going to be picking my TBR next year that I haven't seen anyone else do, so I'm really excited about that. But I think for me, I'm going to be picking 3 prompts every time I do a video, so they'll be shorter videos, but it's going to be a little more realistic for me and my lifestyle. I think it's still going to be fun. They're just going to be shorter videos. We're going to reorganize my TBR cart today for the winter season, refresh it with the books that are on my radar right now, the ones that I'm gravitating towards wanting to pick up, and we'll see how many I can fit on there. I have some space left on my shelves. I've been using the bottom shelves and just stacking books on top of each other, so at some point I do want to reorganize all my bookshelves just because I think everything's just gotten out of hand. Books are everywhere and I feel like I really need to just sit down, take everything off, dust everything. I do want to do that at some point. I just feel like that's a whole day project. For now, we're just going to be reorganizing my TBR cart and just figuring out what books I want to keep on there, what books I want to take off, and just getting reorganized. So let's get into the video. Grab your favorite drink, grab a book, and come hang out and reorganize with me. So this is the current state of my TBR cart. We've just got books everywhere from the videos that I filmed recently and just new purchases that I bought during Black Friday. So we're gonna take everything off and then reorganize where I want everything, and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so these are the books I have on around my TBR cart, and I'm just gonna organize them and put them back on the way I want, and then put some of the ones that don't fit back on my bookshelves. That are going to be going back on my shelf that I don't think I'm going to get to immediately. So the TBR cart's done now. I'm going to quickly just run through all the books that I have on here for the winter season. Now I had my 5 before the 5 at the front here. However, I felt weird separating the series, and so we've got a mix of my 5 before the end of 2025 as well as my winter TBR in there. We've got One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake, the 3rd to 6th books in the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Line series, the rest of the Beartown trilogy by Frederick Bachman. We've got The Nightingale, Legendary Finale, and Rebel Witch. On the back side, what I just have are the series that I'm in the middle of. Now I don't think I'm going to continue Fearless by Lauren Roberts, so I just decided not to keep it on my TBR cart. But we've got Enchanter behind here. We've got The Obelisk Gate by M.K. Jemisin, and then the tandem read in Throne of Glass series. I feel like someone needs to yell at me to finish the tandem read just because I'm so intimidated by it. So these are books that are on my winter TBR here as well. So we've got Here One Moment by Leon Moriarty. We've got Lady of Darkness, Heavenly Bodies, A Fire Endless, Heartless and Powerless, yours truly, A Love Letter to Whiskey, and Wildcat. Here we've got The God of the Woods. Has been on a lot of TBRs. I just feel like I need to just get into it at some point. We'll have Conform by Ariel Sullivan. I've seen so many good reviews on this book that I just feel like I need to get into it sometime soon. We have Twice by Mitch Albom. This is his newest release and the premise of it is very interesting. We also have Thorn Season by Kira Azar. That one's been on a few of my TBRs as well that I need to just get to. And then we have Convergence by Kirsten Dunn. This is an independent published fantasy book. And then The Homemade God. Okay, so those are all the books on my newly reorganized TBR cart for the winter time. When I do my monthly TBRs next year, I am going to try to stick to the cart, but if there's books on my shelf that I want to pull off instead that I'm feeling like reading, I'll do that as well. But these are the ones that I want to try to get read in the winter season and some point next year to get off my physical TBR. But I'm really excited about a lot of these reads. Some I've heard about, some I haven't heard about. So those are all the books in my TBR cart. If you've read any of them, let me know what you've thought about them. If any of them are on your physical TBR, let me know as well. If you stayed this long, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to keep up with my content, and I hope to see you in the next one.